everyone, and once again, welcome to today's role modeling event. So I am Jedaidah Chilufya, and I am from Dola, Kopala. I am currently in the US. I came to the US 6 years ago to pursue my academic career. I went to Dola Modern Primary School, and for my secondary school, I went to a boarding school in Mukushi, Chengelo School. I'm grateful for the fact that I actually had a scholarship to attend the school, and my mom didn't have to pay like the huge school fees. And so I was inspired to pursue, to kind of get into science. First of all, by my cousin. I had a cousin who was a nurse, a passion to help people, passion for science. I was like, oh, I want to be like you when I grow up. She was like, yeah, sure, you can. You can be a nurse, you can be a doctor. Just make sure you like focus on science studies. And I was like, okay, yes, I'll focus on science studies. And so when I finished secondary school, I was like, okay, let's apply to UNZA. And now, the only thing I knew is that when you like science, the only career in the world is either a nurse or a doctor. I didn't know of anything else. But of course now, we know that there are many opportunities, and today is a day where you get to see different people who are in different fields. So make sure you ask all your questions. And so when I went to UNZA, I was like, I want to do medicine. And to do medicine at the University of Zambia, you have to make points. So actually, you have to make points for different fields to like specialize in. And so we're like, oh, you make these points to get into medical school. I was like, no problem. I'll make those points. I can get those grades. Then we wrote our exams, second year. The results came out. I didn't make it on the medical school list. I was like, why? I missed it by just half a point. I was like, Lord, what is half a point to you? Like, how come I didn't get that? Like, I was so disappointed, so frustrated. And I was like, no, I want to do medicine. It's the only thing I know to do. What else can I do? And then I started talking to my friends. We then realized to say, no, you can still make it into medicine. You can still go to Ridgeway if you do another science major. So the most common one was microbiology. You can do microbiology, you can do genetic, natural resources, different types of biological sciences. Then you finish that degree and then you go to Ridgeway. So that's what we did. We said, fine, let's go into microbiology. And then whilst I was doing microbiology, I realized, oh my goodness, I like microbiology. So microbiology is essentially the study of very small, tiny creatures that you can't see with our naked eyes, so they have to be magnified and observed under a microscope. And so I found that I actually enjoyed studying the microorganisms of bacteria, viruses, fungi, algae, protists, all sorts of microorganisms, and like what impact they have on human beings, on plants, on animals. So they can have a positive impact, so like they can actually benefit us, or they can have a negative impact, so they can actually be harmful, like cause diseases such as like the COVID-19 virus. That one has a negative impact. So I was very interested in like studying all these microorganisms. I was like, oh my goodness, it's actually a good field. And I also realized to say there are many opportunities of work if you're a microbiologist. You can work in a hospital because you can look at like microorganisms which can cause disease, so that you can know how to like help people treat different diseases. You can work in a research lab where maybe you're studying how like certain microbes cause diseases. Even for example, like COVID-19, you can work in a lab that is trying to understand how is COVID-19 mutating, how is COVID-19 causing these diseases. You can work in a food industry to kind of just like see like what kind of like microbes are like in the food, because microbes can be good and bad. So you want to keep the good things, the good microbes in your food. You want to take out the bad. So you can work in the food industry. You can work in like water and storage company to make sure that our water doesn't have like the harmful bacteria or like harmful microorganisms. It's safe. You can work like in a brewery, because that beer making, fermentation, making like chivuku, like that actually involves microorganisms. So you can work in a lot of places. And I was like, oh, that's really great. I'm going to go for microbiology. So then as I was here, just as I was about to graduate, I then said no, but I still want to do medicine. So I still applied to do medicine. If I want to do microbiology, I think I want to be a professor. I want to stay in academia. So then one thing I can do is I can apply at UNZA to be an SDF, or a lecturer trainee. So then I applied for both. So I applied for both to do medicine and also to be a lecturer trainee. Yes, so when I graduated, then I saw that I was accepted into both, to do medicine or to stay in the microbiology as a lecturer. I was like, oh my goodness, what do I want to do? I had to really think and reflect to say, what do I really want? What's my passion? And it's something that's something you should think about. When you think about like what career you want to do, you have to think about something which you would be interested in, passionate about. And so kind of like try different things. Like, what do you like? What makes you happy? What are your core values? Or like in other words, like what are those things important to you that they influence your day-to-day decision? For example, is your core value helping people? So if it's helping people, that means you are happy to be in a place where like you're helping people, helping the sick, or helping farmers, or helping people in the workplace, people in the bank. Like, what is your passion? Is it about money? Is it about like education? Is it family? Is it, you search that. So you can actually Google search what are core values and see which ones really mean to you, like make sense for you. And then that way you can actually see to say, maybe I want to do this. And then also you need to explore, because sometimes you don't know what you like until you try it. And so if you have an opportunity to say, oh, you should, there's maybe like an internship or like a small job to work on a farm, go there, work on a farm and see if you like it. Or like to work like in a pharmacy, go there and see if you like it. So you have to explore your interest to really see where your passion is. So for me, I had to like look inside of me and say, where is my passion? And I realized to say that I was actually only interested in doing medicine because it's the only thing I knew. And it was almost like expected, because you're in science, because you're good at science, you should do medicine. And my passion wasn't really there, but my passion was, I found my new passion in microbiology. But I have friends, and I am very excited to have friends who are doctors, who actually like went ahead, they had that passion, that calling to do medicine, and they went through with it. Then I had a few friends who like, they were super smart, but when they went to regional medical school, they actually, some of them just quit, some of them came back to UNZA. Like one person, both his parents were doctors, but he really liked maths. But he went to Ridgeway. After a year, he was like, nope, I don't want to do medicine. I want to come back and do a degree in maths. And he did it. I had other friends who like, when they just like experienced the whole like hospital environment, like, you know, blood and sick people, they were just like, this is not for me. So that's how they did. They found what was not their passion. So it's really important for you to like know, explore and see what is good, what you like, and then go for that journey. Okay, so I decided to say, fine, I think for me, I want microbiology. And so because of that, when I finished my degree at UNZA, I decided to say I want to do a master's and a PhD. So I started applying to different places within the continent Africa, and outside in Europe, in Asia, and here in the US. And I actually got a scholarship to come and do masters in the US. And so that's when I had like my first research experience. And so doing research in plant biology, I was like, oh, this is really great. And then I was like, let me go ahead and do PhD. Now, one thing is that like when I was thinking about doing a master's and a PhD, I was just like, am I really capable of doing a master's and a PhD? Because if you do a master's, it means you have to kind of like work on something that is new. Am I like smart enough to do that? I'm like, But then I was like, let me just go for it. And so my last encouragement, like, don't feel like you can't do something. You won't know until you try. And with hard work and determination, you can do anything. So all of us at the stage we're at, there's two times where we feel like, I don't think I'm good enough. But that doesn't stop us. We're just like, okay, PhD, let me go. I have no idea. I've never done it before. I was like, okay, let's just do this. We're going into the world of unknown, but with passion, with hard work, we will do it. And that's how I said, let me do my PhD. So I'm now in my 5th year of PhD and winding up. And so I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had. And my area of interest is where we do work that actually benefits the farmers. And so we're also working on a research in Lusaka to see how we can actually do research that can actually help the small-scale farmers in Lusaka and surrounding area. And so that is my those are my words of encouragement to you. So lastly, I'm going to give you a short tour of the lab where I work to do the molecular biology work. So Yeah, so this is our lab space, but there are many different labs on this floor, different places, and our lab is right at the end. So different benches. And this is my space. Hey Dan, you wanna say hi? Hey. That's a lab made, and then this is my desk where I work. Yes, so this is our area. Yes, when you come in, and then when I'm about to do work, then I put on my lab coat. But I am done for the day, so heading out.
J mix this thing.